Stop streaming. Start recording. Okay. We're just waiting on Mr. Nanners right now. So we're gonna put on some copyright free vibes. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh, these just got added. These just got added. Theme featuring Gabriella from Zenith.
From a place of hardship to a place of ease.
So we live? Hey, G Vader, what's up, brother?
Oh shit, you're live. Fuck. And I was just here watching Sam's stream.
Live podcast getting ready.
Let's see.
Go.
So I'm Alex.
I deserve growth, or if maybe I should preserve coping by hitting you. Adoring you.
I'm actually I'm in purple.
Bet. We're bros. Of course we're gonna match.
Definitely Mimi finally got her Twitch name set up.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm so glad this hell of a week is over for me. Yo! Let's go, Nanners!
We got Nanners in the house.
Yo, what's up, Nans?
But our names are switched around, so I gotta change that really quick.
You're not talking. You're muted. Oh, sorry. There you go. Do you play with
earbuds?
mobile? Yeah.
No, I play with my audio technicals.
Actually, those are fucking good.
Yeah.
I was about to say legally.
Wow, this is crazy. We have a video Nanners on the podcast.
This is rare.
Yeah.
I know.
Alrighty, so for the sake of the audio recording, hey everybody, so I'm Alex, and this is Dito, and this is our special guest Nanners. Welcome to So Gaming. Boom. And then we'd roll the intro right here. Do press start, blah 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 blah. Nanners like, okay, fuck it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we're so cringe.
Man, you know what? I'm so excited like that. I completely forgot what I was going to talk about that had to do with my banter. My banter was going to be like about this situation I had, and now I cannot remember it. Oh, I remember it now. It's so random. It has nothing to do with gaming. So I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but I got a little bit of a haircut, you know, kind of got to edge it up on the side. I had to look clean, you know, because that's just how I am. And
really fresh.
I went over to Great Clips, you know, because it's fucking Great Clips. I don't give a shit. I mean, at this point, I go to whatever, you know, haircut place has the shortest time, and I just need to get a haircut really quick because a lot of these places aren't open past 6 p.m. anymore. And so I go there, and ladies are like, "Oh, are you Alex?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Yes." So I'm like, "All right, you're up." So she busts out her clippers, and she turns me away from the mirror, which is very irregular for me because for all these times that I've been getting haircuts, I'm always facing straight against the mirror. And she busts out these clippers that are still plugged into the wall. And I'm all like, is that supposed to be that way? like you don't have wireless clippers? I didn't say this because I didn't want to make her feel like embarrassed or inferior or something like that. But I feel like that's just a thing that has gone away of the wired clippers, unless you're like going to Target to buy, you know, your own like little clipper set. Because every hair salon, you know, person that I've dealt with, that, you know, when I go to get a haircut, they always use the wireless ones, and they're so efficient and they cut really fast and whatnot. But it was just really odd. But the good news is she still did a really good job. It's just weird because it sounded like a lawnmower was going over my head. Like it wasn't like zzz, it was. Well, like, I hope my hair looks fine. And then she turns me towards the mirror, and now I'm like, she's like, "How's that look?" I'm like, "It looks pretty good." Okay. So Dito, are you playing with a vibrator?
Nah. I thought you were gonna talk about Manscaped, and I brought my Manscaped.
You actually got a Manscaped?
How is that?
Yo, it's actually pretty fucking safe. I didn't believe it until I fucking used it, and it's so safe when it comes to your balls.
Nice.
Oh,
Like it stops, like the blade stops and doesn't go further if it gets like a piece of skin.
2 minutes into the podcast, and I already know you, Dito, way more than I wanted to.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
But yeah.
God, Jesus!
Manscaped, please sponsor us.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I thought you were about to throw a promo code. I'm like, oh man, when did Dito lock this down? Like, Jesus.
Just imagine, that'll be fucking amazing if I get the freaking Manscapes.
G Vader 24 says Dito de balls. That's your next emote, please.
Yeah, actually, Manscaped actually is very efficient. The Lawnmower 2.0, but right now they're actually releasing the 4.0, I think.
Oh my lord, the bro talk is real. Hey, just saying, ladies can use Manscaped as well.
True.
It's
It's
true.
really safe when it comes to the skin.
Exactly.
Extremely safe.
Just chop them armpits out. Or the lady parts. I don't know. Anyways.
I'm gonna breeze over that, huh?
Episode 8. So we aiming? Like, we're going to be talking about some first-person shooters here. And there's not really any specific game we're like talking about. I have a few questions that we can all answer and shit about. But the first question, what's the first FPS game you recall playing? This is up to whoever wants to go first.
Oh, I think it was probably GoldenEye.
Oh,
James Bond,
GoldenEye, yes, N64.
On N64, you can't even like really aim up or down unless you like zoom in, and so you're just walking like this. But yeah, I think that was probably the first game I played as an FPS. But it definitely wasn't the game that I'd consider as like the first game I really played. But casually with friends is all I played.
I could honestly probably agree with that. Like casually with friends, that's probably the first FPS game I've ever played. I do recall using a lot of the cheat modes in that, like the big head mode and having just golden gun. Like golden gun was so fun.
Oh yeah,
the golden gun was fucking amazing. I remember that game so much.
The first game I remember playing, I believe, I don't think it was Doom, it was Wolfenstein, and it was on my dad's computer.
I was about to say that Wolfenstein 3D was actually my first FPS game as well. You guys are gonna find it weird since I'm from the 97, but remember how Colombia was really like behind when it comes to things like that.
Right. No, that makes sense. I just remember like seeing the little character's face in the middle, and then like the gun like in the middle. It wasn't like that like kind of side like shoulder like view that you see on a lot of games nowadays. But that's the first game I recall playing. So that's the first one you recall playing too, Dito?
Not recall. I do know that was my first one.
Oh, okay, cool. The next question, and I feel like I know a couple of your guys' answers on this one. What's your favorite first-person shooter of all time? Dito, we'll have you start this one.
Well, that's actually going to be a really hard one to actually respond because I've played a lot of FPS and, I always had a love and hate relationship when it comes to FPS. So regular FPS when it comes to not like not multiplayer and stuff like that, I guess I can say my favorite might be Borderlands.
Borderlands?
Ooh. Borderlands 2. Yeah. No, actually, I would switch it a little bit. Bioshock.
So you're Bioshock like FPS RPG gaming.
Yes, Bioshock is my favorite FPS game, actually.
That's interesting.
The Borderlands series.
Borderlands is fun. What about you, Nanners?
That's a pretty hard decision.
I feel it.
Yeah, I'd probably be stuck between COD, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, or CSGO. Right. I'd almost lean towards CSGO, though.
That's how I feel towards the end, is like CSGO, because, I played, Call of Duty all the way, like almost religiously, all the way from like the very, very first one until I want to say Modern Warfare 2. And then that's when I stopped. I kind of ditched away from that. I was mixed up between the very like first one I was super duper in depth with was Medal of Honor Allied Assault. That was even before Call of Duty. And but I remember Call of Duty, like seeing that on like G4 TV, and like you can aim down the sights. I was like, that's so sick.
That's amazing.
That's what caught my attention. But Call of Duty, I mean, growing into it, like Counter-Strike is hands down my favorite first-person shooter.
To be honest, I would have not expected you guys to say Counter-Strike, but like, let's face it, all three of us play Counter-Strike. I will say, like, at some point there was nonstop, and we'll always go back into that game.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you can say that we love it. It's just that we're addicted.
Yeah, I probably would have stuck with COD had it not been for the fact that my Xbox was getting old. And most of my friends were on Xbox. I had a PlayStation 4 Pro, so I didn't... Like, that was pretty up to date. But I got rid of it because most of the people I played with were on Xbox. So going back to Xbox, my Xbox was too old to kind of keep up to the newer ones. So I just swapped to PC because I didn't want to buy a new Xbox. And kind of just fell out of love with it. And kind of, I guess, developed new friends, new communities that I play with now. So it made the transition from Xbox easier. And as I transitioned out of Xbox, I also transitioned out of COD. Had it been for the fact that had it not been for the fact that my Xbox was older, I probably would have still been playing COD a lot more than Counter-Strike. But yeah, it just kind of forced me to switch over, and I'm totally happy that it did.
Right. I mean, I love you some CSGO. I played... G Vader says, mine was COD 4 on the PS3. And he also said that you're old, Nanners.
You're not wrong.
Even though I'm fairly certain I'm the oldest person.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And Dito's like really close to me.
Yeah, I'm like 53.
Yeah, it's like 1 year difference, to be honest.
Yeah. You're 25?
Gotta be 25 in April.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys are young bloods. I'm the old guy here.
Yeah, but you're just a bro, dude. Come on, you're a bro.
You're a bro. You're a bro.
I mean, in the gaming community, we're all pretty old. You kind of peak at 22, so.
V for Valkyrie says, put me in the ring with Putin. I drink a 50-gallon drum of muriatic acid and end my turn. Oh
you
my
know
God.
what? You get respect from me. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, honestly, there's not a lot of people that will jump in the ring with Putin. When there's a bunch of bodyguards surrounding him.
There are. Okay, yeah, maybe not with the bodyguards.
Have you ever?
I was gonna say, I bet you there's quite a few people chomping at the bit right now.
We're gonna get a little off topic for a second, since V for Valkyrie decided to go and throw Putin's name out in the universe just now. But have you ever seen the video of Vladimir Putin playing hockey? He's playing in a hockey game.
No.
Oh my God, dude. No one would check him. He won every single face-off. The goalie wouldn't do anything to block the shots. It's so cringe, dude. And the thing is, he thinks he's actually doing very well. And you can see it. The way he's like celebrating. It's so ridiculous.
I'm watching it right now, and I'm shocked.
It's terrible. It's what the Spanish call el terrible. Streaming the live podcast. It's definitely ridiculous. Let me know your opinions on that, Dito.
Oh, I'm just judging your Spanish.
I think it was.
He knows more than I do.
It's
just so funny. Nobody's even trying.
No one's trying. It's insane.
They're afraid.
Yeah, because they're afraid if they hit him, they're gonna get shot by like some hidden KGB sniper. V for Valkyrie says, I fall asleep to fatal car crashes and Latino women eating loudly. I woke up to find that absolutely everything in my residence has been painted to look like a pack of Newport menthols.
This is insane, bro.
That is nicotine, insane. For sure. Absolutely.
Wait,
it really is. Like, if I watched that, I can't remember if I saw it on TikTok or if it was like on Facebook, but I just remember watching that video and I'm just like, dude, this is ridiculous. This is a leader of a country. And he's committing atrocities in Ukraine. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just fucking stupid at this point. I really do. Like, it makes me sad to think about that.
V for Valkyrie also says, I got beef with the whole state of Iowa. V for Valkyrie, what's your favorite first-person shooter game, if you have one? Continuing forward, getting us back onto the FPS gaming.
Does Iowa actually exist?
Yes, Iowa does exist.
Damn it. I know.
What are some of the more recent FPS games that you've played?
I was still watching the Putin video.
Dude, honestly.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
So you were most recent...
Yep, most recent FPS gaming.
That I've played, like the most recent one. You already know the goddamn answer. Like at this point, you shouldn't even ask. You already know. What's the most recent FPS that I fucking play? Which one? Tell me.
I don't know.
CSGO.
No, not like that. Okay, let's say what's more of the like a recent non-Counter-Strike, like non-norms, like what's more of a modern game you've played recently? Like the Cycle. Have you played the Cycle Frontier yet?
No, but my answer is still gonna be Call of Duty.
Oh, well, which Call of Duty?
Warzone.
Oh, Warzone? I mean, I feel like everyone's played Warzone.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I guess Vanguard, but I fucking hated Vanguard.
Why do you
I
hate
don't think I've played any new FPSs. I mean, like Apex, a little bit of Call of Duty, and Counter-Strike are about it.
Yeah, I don't really dive too far away from those games, and when something new comes out, yeah, I can get that. I mean, I've been playing more RPG games than FPS games recently. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I started playing Cyberpunk again.
Oh, yeah, dude, I have too. I got FemV.
Yeah.
Female V, baby.
I still haven't forgiven that game, so I'm not ready.
I'm starting to forgive it a little bit.
It's good though.
Honest,
I love it. Like the updates are worth for sure.
Yeah.
It's been playing pretty smooth, but there are some glitches in the game. 100% sure. Like still, like they're 100% there.
I quit when I was seeing trees floating through my world from like miles away, and just tons of trees covering my screen. I got pretty sick of it. I thought that was pretty stupid that made it past their initial testing.
Wasn't there a glitch where there was like dildos or sex toys just spammed everywhere at some point? I feel like I heard about that.
I don't think so, actually.
Nothing would surprise me with that game.
I mean, the last thing I remember that's actually like an atrocity in that game was vehicles exploding out of nowhere. Like it's just standing still and then it just explodes up. I was like, what the fuck? It actually happened. It was weird.
I feel like I never experienced a lot of like the cool glitches everyone else did. And now, honestly, I'm more disappointed for that than, I feel like I played the game and it worked perfectly fine for me. I'm like, wow,
no, it made me quit.
I got through the story. Dang, I didn't see a single freaking glitch.
Guys.
Yeah, that tree one was so annoying.
I'm sorry if I'm gonna like change it from Cyberpunk, but since we were talking about FPS,
yes,
in general, has anybody here played MAG?
No.
MAG? I think it's called MAG. It was a PlayStation massive multiplayer game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was only multiplayer, and the multiplayer was just amazing. It was huge maps. It was just pure gunfights itself. Like, in a big map, they just put like players, maps, and guns, and boom, that's MAG.
That reminds me. Wasn't there a game called Black for the PlayStation? And it was like it was literally just shooting, but like, and they had like a bunch of guns in that game.
Doesn't sound familiar, but then again, I wasn't really into PlayStation.
Same here.
Understandable. I had both. Like I first started with PlayStation, and then I moved to Xbox because my PlayStation.
My family has a terrible history of PlayStation. We have the worst luck with PlayStation.
Not surprised. I don't know. The only reason I ever got a PlayStation was because I was trying to compete in COD, and that's it.
What is it?
Thank you, Vader. Not Vader. Just Vader just said that he remembers that game. But yeah, that game it was a lot of players. It was like 27 against 27 players in a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only one here who's played it really, like actually, pitched a handful of hours. But what's your guys' thoughts on Escape from Tarkov?
You go ahead, Dita.
I haven't played the game.
You never played Escape from Tarkov?
I've never played. I haven't bought it. I've never played it, so I cannot say anything.
So for those who are listening, Escape from Tarkov is a combat survival shooter, and in some cases, it's actually even been categorized as a horror game, primarily because the feeling you get when you load into a server with like 12 other people and you have no idea where they're at, and all the gear that you bring in with you, if you die, you lose all of that gear. That's pretty much the simple thing. There are like some bells and whistles where you can add insurance to where you get those items back and pay for insurance in case you die. But for the most part, if you die in that game, you lose all of your gear. And the combat in that game is probably some of the best combat I've ever seen in any like simulation game ever. Even more than Arma 3. Even more than like the realism mods for Arma 3. And Arma 3 is like one of those pinnacles of milsim gaming. But Escape from Tarkov, I've had a lot of jump scare moments. I have a lot of moments where I'm like freaking out because I got in the middle of a firefight and someone shot my leg. So now my leg on my is like either blacked out or bleeding, and I'm losing health like crazy, and my character is literally limping. So I can't even like sprint to like extract. I'm like limping until I can either find maybe a splint or a bandage or something like that, or a painkiller to make me ignore the pain and run. But that game is super fun. The gun mechanics in it are probably the best in any combat sim, period. Because in this game, you can even exercise your weapon mechanics where you can literally eject rounds out of the chamber, and literally just do that. It's crazy. That's how crazy this game gets into with its firearms. But it's super intense. But it's really easy to die if you're going in, if you're starting new in the game, and you're going against people that are like level 40 who have already looted up like level 4 like helmets and armor, and they have like amazing ammunition that can like shred your armor. It can definitely be very, very one-sided when you're starting out.
Yeah, so I have played it when it was first getting popular. I played it for a little while. And that game you definitely either love or you hate. I would be in the latter camp, I think. I definitely don't love the game at all. And there's a few different reasons. First off, I don't like having to try to like research what ammo I have to buy and which vendor I have to go to get it for each gun. I find it takes forever to get into a game.
Right.
At least when I was playing it. And I got tired of having to spend like 20 minutes in the lobby to go play a 10-minute match.
Or even shorter than that.
Yeah, or shorter. And you lose everything if you die or whatever. So that was the one reason I hated it. Reason two is I felt like I was always playing with input delay. So I would move my gun, and as I move my joystick, it would take a second for the gun to turn,
Right.
It's minor, but when you're used to playing on 1 millisecond monitors with like Counter-Strike type response time, any tiny little bit of delay has always driven me nuts. Like I cannot stand it. So between those two things and just the fact that I feel like my guy, it's almost too realistic where I feel like everything's heavy, everything's slow. I want to turn and quickly react to something, but my character is incapable of keeping up with my reaction time. So because of that, I stopped playing it and I didn't like it. Those two main reasons. But that being said, it's not that it's a bad game. It's just that it's not what I look for in a game.
Sure.
And I totally understand that a lot of people like the fear of losing everything, whereas I would rather just go jump in even-footed and see who's better, I guess, in that regard.
Right, nice balance, like skill. Yeah, that's what I love about Counter-Strike. Alex Shoup in the chat just said, "Video games don't make gamers violent. Lag does."
True.
That's so fucking true. Except if you play Elden Ring.
Dude, have you ever seen the little web series Pure Ownage back in the day?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You never heard of the character FPS Doug? I'm really
sounds vaguely familiar, but
so he was the guy who in this video he'd always be like, boom, headshot, and he was playing Counter-Strike in this game. He was playing Source, and I just remember like this dude's brother who's doing like the video documentary is like, hang out with FPS Doug. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hang out with you and shoot what your video games are all about. He's like, oh yeah, man, we're gonna play Counter-Strike, and he's playing Counter-Strike and, let's take a break. And he takes a break and is like, let's go get some food. And what's it called? When he's leaving, like, he brings a knife with him from the kitchen. He's like, why do you have a knife with you, Doug? He's like, you always run fast with a knife. That's where that came from. So he comes back and they're playing video. He's playing Counter-Strike again. He's just like, boom, headshot. And he's using a Galil. First off, I don't even know.
Yeah, weird.
Like, this obvious troll is obvious, but he gets killed, and it's because of lag. And then FPS Doug, he just starts getting so angry. There's like close-ups of his fist like clenching up. He's like, "You need to get the hell out of here, man. You need to get the hell out of here." He's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Just leave." So FPS, like, the cameraman starts leaving in the room, and all of a sudden you hear. FPS Doug is like,
I know that sounds all too well.
Yeah, he's like smashing his keyboard, and then the cameraman starts running away from the house, and all of a sudden you hear the keyboard smash on the ground, and you turn around, and the garage is open, and FPS Doug's like, he's like stomping on the fucking keyboard. Dude, it's so great.
You gotta send me that video.
I will absolutely send it to you, but it's so funny.
That's me with League.
Yeah. Oh yeah, about League. And well, you said that you don't play, you didn't like Tarkov because it takes like what, around 20 minutes, but yet you played League of Legends and CS:GO.
No.
It takes more time.
In Tarkov. Well, I mean, I understand you're kidding, but to Nanner's point, in Tarkov, for 20 minutes, you and whoever your friends that you're playing with are playing Tetris minigame for 20 minutes, trying to get your loadout and organize your inventory.
Yeah, it's like you're doing a second job, which I'm not interested in. I mean, I'd rather be able to watch YouTube while I'm sitting in queue, not have to write or read a novel on what ammo I have to have in my gun.
Dude, oh my god, I just thought of like the biggest idea for Tarkov, you know? And it's okay, so while you're queuing for a game, you should be able to modify your inventory like and access that while you're queuing, just like in core.
Wait, you can't?
No, you can't. Nope.
That fucking sucks.
You just see freaking Ivan with like a NATO gear or a Russian gear, and he's just like, ugh. And then you just see, awaiting resources, blah blah blah, loading map. That's all you see. You can't just like tinker around with your inventory while it's like loading, which is ridiculous. If they did that, honestly, I'm sure that'd fix a lot of people's problems, because then they can go ahead and you can queue up and be like, all right, guys, I'm going to queue us up. Are we good? Yeah, sure. Cool. I'm just messing with my inventory. All right, cool. Do. I'm like, all right, cool. I got all my ammo sorted out. I got this sorted out. I feel like that would totally fix so many problems with the waiting portion of the game, especially when you're playing with friends.
A little bit for sure.
Nikita, hit me up. I'll take some of that royalty.
Yep. Wow. I'm glad I don't play Escape from Tarkov.
In the cycle, I don't think you get to do that either, but the amount of gear, it's nowhere near as intense or anything like that. Everything takes up one slot. There is, I think, a weight limit, but it's not like in Tarkov, there's actually like squares that you have to go by. If a gun might be like a 4x2, whereas ammo is only going to be like a 1x1 inside your inventory. So you literally oh my god, if I was a person that had like Omega OCD, I could not play Tarkov at all.
I think I do have a little bit of OCD in me, so I get pretty tired of not being able to fit things perfectly.
Bro, I play like kind of like a Tetris type of situation whenever I'm just like in Walmart, Target, or whatever. I just put it like on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have to put it like right next to it, because it bothers me if I don't.
That's crazy. But I mean, that's another thing. It's kind of crazy how the evolution of first-person gaming, just evolved throughout the last 20 years. Like, it was, you had just normal, shoot 'em up, like single player. You moved to the multiplayer realm, and then shit, I mean, I'm gonna skip forward a good chunk, because a lot of then and now between Battle Royale was just them innovating different ways on how we can go ahead and make first person gaming like super fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Whether it's increasing the amount of player count or making customizable weapons. Dito, were you about to say something?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you mentioned about the freaking Battle Royale, even though I do enjoy Battle Royale games, I do find it annoying and kind of stupid, the Battle Royale trends in games. And I think, in my opinion, that it might ruin the concept of some of, the majority of video games itself, because it's going to make developers extremely lazy at creating content itself. I might enjoy Battle Royales, but I do find that trend on games pretty goddamn stupid.
Yeah, I mean, well, there are people that did it right, and there are people I feel like that did it wrong. And there was a lot of games that came out like the market for battle royale actually became oversaturated. We actually talked about it. What was that game that the Darwin Project? That was actually an amazing and very unique concept. Honestly, like I actually liked it a lot. It's just I don't think it blew up the way that everyone thought it was going to. But the way that chat can interact with it, it was literally like Hunger Games, where you can be in chat and get an item for someone in the game. Like that was really cool. I actually liked that. And you had someone that was literally color commentating it, shoutcasting exactly how it was going on. They controlled the camera. It was really cool. I actually enjoyed that a lot.
It definitely had a lot of features that I wish were brought into other games that didn't get brought over.
Yeah. You guys are making me sad with Darwin Project right now.
Do you remember the calling? Did you ever play that?
Yes, I did.
Dude, that game was stupid skill based. Like, I was terrible at it, but
I hated the game.
It was pretty crazy, but like, 'cause it was very like, rock paper scissors kind of fighting, unless you had like a bow and arrow or something like that. But when it came to like, I did play the calling with you. Crazy. At some point. Possibly. I remember it was like 2016, 2017, so it's definitely possible. That's when I was still playing games with my buddy Kinnaman.
Yes, shit. You did play a lot with Trace as well, the Cullen, right?
No, I believe it or not, I didn't play a lot of games like that with Trace because his computer didn't run things like that very well.
Yeah, I remember.
We played Counter-Strike and League, and that was it. So, but yeah, I mean, you had H1Z1, which was the game I actually kind of first started streaming on, Battle Royale. And I didn't even know about that at first. I remember hearing about H1Z1. I'm like, let's go ahead and give it a try. And I kept playing just survival, the survival mode of it. And I'm like, man, why are people getting so hyped about this game? It's so boring. I haven't seen anyone. I'm like, there's like 2 bullets in this little loot container. How am I supposed to kill people with 2 bullets? And then I discovered the Battle Royale. And then it was off and cracking from there. That's when I kind of started, getting followers and things like that.
Yeah, and then PUBG came. I remember playing that with you. I think that was the first game I played with you, actually, PUBG.
PUBG was so much fun.
How you guys met each other?
That's a great question. I don't remember.
I think it was through Bolts.
That makes perfect sense, honestly.
Yeah, because Bolts was playing PUBG as well, and Bolts and I were really close because of COD, and somehow he knew you, so he wanted to play with you, so we both played with you, and then kind of took off from there.
Yeah, I feel like Shay was definitely an interconnector for a lot of the friendships because I knew.
I mean, that's how I met you, Alex.
Exactly. So thanks, Shay. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Shay. Thanks for being that random person who sucked at CS:GO.
Oh wow, that's so messed up. She was better than you at some point.
Oh, she was, because when I met her, I was a complete noob. A complete noob.
No, it's Gold Nova 1, blah, 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 this and that.
No, I was complete silver. We were all silvers when we met each other.
Well,
you were a silver.
To wrap it up on that Battle Royale, PUBG definitely was killing it. They revamped it. H1Z1 actually revamped their own as well. But then...
Really?
Then you had a little company called Activision bring out their completely, money-fueled version of Battle Royale called Warzone. And
I thought you were going to talk about Fortnite.
Yeah, as you say, I think Fortnite was first, and then...
I don't want to talk about Fortnite.
Okay, then skip that, and then it was Blackout, not even Warzone.
Black Ops 4, right?
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. Actually, that's actually crazy.
Which I liked way more than Warzone.
You liked Black Ops?
Big time.
Why is that?
Okay, opinions.
Blackout, because of the armor system, I think it's way better than Warzone.
Oh, I can agree, but the gameplay itself I did not like.
I don't know. I like the graphics of the which engine did they use? I don't know. Whatever the Black Ops engine is, I like that way better than the other engines they've used. But
speaking of engines.
Vengeance?
That's a perfect segue. The Unreal Engine 5 is finally ready to power a new generation of games, which means the Unreal Engine 5 is actually now available. It's available on the Epic Games Store for all developers, and the following games are being developed in Unreal Engine 5, according to a GameSpot.com article. We have ArcAge 2, which is an MMO. I know I have some friends at Micro Center that played the crap out of ArcAge 1, and I'm sure they're super excited for this. You have Arc 2, the sequel to the survival sandbox Arc, Ashes of Creation, Black Myth Wukong, an action-adventure game. You have Dragon Quest XII, The Flames of Fate, which I actually got confused with Dragon Age. Because I was like, when did they make like 7 other Dragon Age games? I had no idea.
Dragon Fable.
You said that the other night and you threw me off. Man, it's like I was literally reciting all of these to see how long it would take to go through all these games. and Dito kept saying some random shit. And I'm like, God damn it, stop. Dreamhouse the game, which is a house construction simulator. That should be really cool. Echoes of the End, single player RPG. Fortnite is shifting to the Unreal Engine 5. Game of Thrones, which is weird because it's gonna be a phone based game, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, weird!
Really?
I didn't know they were bringing out a game.
There's a game called Ill, which looks spooky as fuck. It's gonna be a horror game, and I probably will get baited into playing that. You know what I mean? I don't like horror games. We talked about this.
Don't worry, I'm gonna push you into playing that game.
Buy it for me. Into the Echo, MMORPG. Legends of Emir, MMORPG. Dito?
The Rumbling.
Yes, the Rumbling.
You were expecting me to say that?
Yes, because you said it the other day. No, you typed it in the notes, actually. And no, by the way, the Legends of Mir, I don't believe it has anything to do with Attack on Titan, disclaimer. Redfall, which is a first-person action-adventure vampire hunting experience. That should be really interesting. Senua's Saga.
Those kinky motherfuckers.
Yeah, whatever. Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. We have Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. That should be really cool. The original Stalker games, those actually have surprisingly great graphics. I never played them personally, but I've seen video footage of the gameplay footage of it, and it looks really cool. So I'm sure this one on the Unreal Engine 5 is going to look absolutely excellent. You also have Quantum Error, another horror game. The Matrix Awakens. The Untitled Witcher game, which I am absolutely amped for. And we have another Gears of War game coming out.
Yeah.
That's
I
gonna be
can't believe that
exciting.
franchise is still alive.
Yeah, I know,
to
right?
be honest. I mean, it's such a dedicated fan base, but it's very small.
I loved Gears of War so much. I played all of them except for the 5th one.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the multiplayer of the 3rd one, I was heavy grinding that one.
That's excellent. And then to wrap it up, they have the next Tomb Raider game. That's going to be announced too. That's going to be really fun.
That's dope. Holy crap.
But yeah,
like Unreal Engine 5 is going to be...
I'll probably play that.
Yeah, and no,
you know,
Dito is you're a game design student, so I'm sure you're excited for that. Used to?
Yeah, I'm actually excited literally for Unreal Engine 5 because I really want to mess with it. Remember, I'm an accountant now.
Oh, you should make a podcast game.
A podcast game.
Podcast.
A game about podcasting and what it's like a like YouTuber simulator but with podcasts.
Exactly.
There you go.
It's not that hard.
That's so funny.
You can code it with you can easily code it like I wouldn't say blueprint, but with C# try to make a simulator game. It's pretty fucking simple.
Pretty fucking simple, you say?
I know, right?
Oh my
Okay, back to our question before though. While we have a kind of a pause here, we didn't talk about Valorant. Like I think we've all played Valorant. That was on newer FPS, and also Halo. I forgot about both those games.
I feel so goddamn insulted by myself for not talking about Halo. Good. I love Halo.
The first time I ever played Halo was at a youth group. They had
that might have been my first time playing Halo. Was at a youth group actually,
which is very weird because the game is rated M for mature.
Yeah, true.
That's actually
well, the first time I played Halo was at a friend's house, and his parents they didn't know that Halo was aggressive.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, no. Like this kid, like this friend of mine, he ended up being in a fight in school, and his parents realized like the games were, aggressive, and they took them away.
Here we go.
Yeah,
that argument.
Yeah.
So I never played Halo 5 Guardians. I never played it. Never touched it. Not once.
The multiplayer is fun. Like the multiplayer is really well made. but the campaign is just completely bad.
That's why I didn't want to play it, because I usually play the Halo games because of the campaign mode.
Yeah, me too.
Which is surprising for me, because I only played Halo Infinite for the multiplayer. I haven't touched it. I also didn't want to drop $60 for it as well at the same time.
It's worth it. It's really worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it worth you paying for me to play it?
I don't have a fucking job.
Oh. Get on the streets, dude.
How did you guys? What did you guys think of Halo's release and how it's been doing, and did it live up to your expectations?
I think Halo. Well, I mean, are you talking about the more recent one?
The last game.
Oh,
Infinite.
I love Infinite. I think the trailer, like the multiplayer trailer, did it for me. Period. 100%. Like, cause I definitely dedicated a couple weeks to actually playing it, and I haven't done that in a long time for any game. But I haven't played it in a while. But either way, I like when I do play it, I enjoy it. It's super fun.
For me, right now, I'm disappointed. Like there were two moods for me when it comes to Halo when it got released. When the multiplayer got released, I was extremely happy and I really enjoyed the multiplayer. But right now, I'm extremely disappointed because the developers itself are not doing anything whatsoever to add content into the multiplayer. They haven't touched anything. They're supposed to be releasing Forge, but they literally haven't said anything about the Forge. And anything about content, nothing. The multiplayer is just left for dead.
Are you saying that Griffball is still not in Halo Infinite?
It's not.
Nope.
That's
none
actually
of those
dumb.
fun party games are.
No Griffball, nor what's the name of that one?
Dude, there are hundreds of good mini games like that people came up with, and that
like just racing in general. I loved any racing mods in that game. Like when you just drive through a track, it's a blast.
I remember there was like a 2D scroller game where one person had a sniper and everyone else had to run through the obstacle course.
I remember
so for the
that
sniper, it looked like a 2D scroller. That was fun.
That's so funny. That kind of reminds me of
that was
Squid
Death
Game.
Run, right?
Yeah,
Death Run.
Yeah, something Death Run, I think. Yeah,
but yeah,
and there was like so many. Yeah, sorry, you go ahead.
No, like as I was saying, like I'm disappointed because literally no content whatsoever, and the game is dying specifically because of that. That some people are literally demanding for a Halo battle royale.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Even Counter-Strike came out with a battle royale.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, this Halo, I agree, it is a disappointment as well. It's not that there's anything wrong with the gameplay they came out with, but for the amount of time that game has been in development, it seems like a joke. Like, where did all the money for the development go? Where did all the time go? It's like they were just on vacation for the first 2 or 3 years of the development and then started. Or they just invested everything into the campaign, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for a good campaign.
Amazing.
But that being said, for the longevity of the game, you need to have a good multiplayer because people are going to play the campaign once or twice, and then they're going to be ready for multiplayer or vice versa. But either way, they're going to get way more replayability out of the multiplayer. I'm pretty familiar with the pro scene. I followed it really heavily back in Halo 5, and I have quite a few friends in the pro scene. I even teamed with some of the Halo pros after the last Halo died on COD.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm pretty familiar with the scene, and it's just really disappointing that they've waited this long for their game to be revived, and there's no, like, they may as well have not released the game at all because it's that dead already, the pro scene, from what I've seen anyways. It had a small revival, but it's pretty small still.
And don't get me started with the customization of the goddamn Spartans, dude.
Yeah.
That one was depressing.
All the maps look like clones from the last game. All the guns feel like clones. Like, there's really no major difference other than slight changes to the perk system, maybe, but that's about it. So that's why I haven't played it much since.
Same.
Fair enough. And there's better games to play.
Yeah,
exactly.
And if the Forge came out and there was the community made mini games, like, that's super fun to play with a big group of friends. I would totally do that. But until that happens, I don't really see myself going back to play it much.
True. We'll go ahead and touch up on Valorant really quick as well. What are your guys' opinions on Valorant?
It's like a love-hate relationship with that game. At the start, I guess I kind of enjoy it, but at the same time, I got tired of some of the mechanics of the game, but I still sometimes play it. So I have mixed thoughts of that game. It's not like I CSGO that I 100% I can literally just go back to the game. I'll still hate it, but I'll still play it no matter what. But for Valorant, it's kind of weird. Like I cannot stay, but I guess I can play like one game every 1 month.
Right. Now, and for those that are either watching the live stream or listening to the podcast on your download through Spotify or your choice of directory, Valorant was a first-person shooter. Is the first-person shooter developed from Riot Games, the developers of the popular League of Legends game, and they definitely did their research, and they kind of combined, their kind of fantasy realm with the mechanics of Counter-Strike, essentially. And it's been wildly popular, and they have a complete pro series or pro scene for esports. It's really awesome. But I kind of agree with Dito. It's like a love-hate for me. I have it installed, but even like gamers of all ages are playing it. Even my youngest sister's playing it. She actually enjoys the crap out of that game. So,
dude, that game and the freaking RNG of the spray pattern also pisses me off sometimes.
You gotta learn those spray patterns, man.
You cannot. It's RNG.
Yeah, you can learn the first 8 bullets, and then after that it's random, which I don't agree with either. I also agree that it should be a set pattern. Which, I mean, I get that their logic is that, well, a gun would be random, right, in real life. So yeah, that's true, but at the same time, whenever you make a game competitive, I think the least amount of RNG you can have is best. Like Counter-Strike is very minimal, and I think that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Valorant as a whole, though, my issue with the game is, and I don't hate the game, I don't love the game either. I find it can be frustrating to play. And the main reason is the abilities, I think, are too much, and there's too many of the stuns, the flashes, specifically. And I know that that's what makes them unique from Counter-Strike, because they have all these different abilities, and that's their whole gimmick, or not gimmick, but their system is the abilities. That's what the draw is supposed to be.
Jetman.
But I think they like to think they're more creative with their abilities than they actually are. Like, you look at the amount of characters that have flashes. Sure, it'll look different. It'll be a different color, but the result is the exact same, and it does the exact same thing with the slight variations. And I just feel like I'm always being flashed in that game. It's very hard to react quick enough to turn away from them. I feel like I'm always being stunned by a dog jumping on me, or the ground underneath me shaking and me being stunned. It's very hard to avoid some of that stuff, which comes to a skill thing, because they have to know where to place these abilities, and I get that. However, I just think it's a little bit too much to even if you're the best player in the world, you're still going to get hit by a lot of that, and that can be really frustrating. Especially when you're a casual player, you're not playing it every day, and you don't know how to avoid some of these things. It's just really hard to come every once in a while, play the game, and not be frustrated because you're getting bombarded with abilities.
There's a lot of games that we haven't talked about, like a lot. Now that I was thinking about it, that you were talking about, like
there are a ton of games. Then we can absolutely dive into a whole realm of this if we really wanted to.
We haven't talked about Siege.
We
haven't talked about Battlefield.
We don't talk about either of those games, actually.
We don't talk about Brood.
I spend a lot of hours on Siege, even though you don't believe it or not. But yeah, and
I'm thinking maybe this is a part 2 in the making, but we'll need to do.
Overwatch! Oh my god!
Exactly.
Overwatch.
There's so many games we can absolutely talk about. So I think we'll want to go ahead and save that for part 2.
Exactly, because we don't have time.
Yeah, I know. I'm over here I'm shooting out polls and stuff like that on Twitter. What's your guys' favorite length of a podcast? And I'm over here all right, we're gonna get to 40 minutes this time. We're at fucking 48 minutes already.
Even with even if it's 1 hour, we still won't have time.
Yeah. Oh no.
Which is why
there's thousands of games. Yeah.
There's
just depends on
So we aiming part 2.
So we aiming part 2. So we aiming again. So we we're just like coming out. We're just brainstorming some titles for the next few episodes.
So it turns out we can't aim very well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. All right, so a couple quick shout outs that we have. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little transition, see if I can make this work. Boop. All right, everybody. The Mysteriocities podcast that we've been talking about, I think, on almost every single episode, finally dropped 5 episodes on Spotify, and I believe on a whole bunch of other directories that you can check out, whatever. I think iHeartRadio, Apple, etc. But pretty much, if you're a fan of true crime, conspiracies, earthly oddities, supernatural items, check out Mysteriocities. You can follow them on all of their social media. But again, definitely check out Mysteriocities. Yes, definitely Mimi. That's us. Yeah, that's definitely Mimi. Follow her on Twitch, even though I'm not sure she's going to be streaming anytime soon. But she is actually one of the co-hosts. That's Miara Roberts. She's one of the co-hosts of Mysteriocities. They did a phenomenal job. They put a bunch of hard work and dedication. I've seen the notes. I've seen some of their notes have gone up to like 20 pages of notes for a single subject. It's absolutely insane, but they put so much hard
Mr.
work.
Producer.
Yes, I helped produce the show, but that's about it. Now all I do is like just hang out and drink.
Mysteriocities live when?
Oh, that's a great idea. I mean, we're gonna have a broadcast studio set up in within the month or two. So
that sounds freaking dope.
It's gonna be
sounds really dope.
It's gonna be a good time. But anyways, yeah, I would love to see if we can get a live episode of Mysteriocities. That'd be very cool. But Dito, you have
what's up?
Something that you want to shout out, right?
Wait, you're talking to? Yes, I do. Actually, unless you want to talk about it.
No, it's all you, brother.
So what Alex here is talking about is that I also have a second podcast called Unseasoned, which it's not gaming specifically, but we do talk about gaming as well because we play, but it's more about like our lives itself. It's with me and some friends from Colombia. It's also in English. Do not worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we just talk about our life experience, our crazy ass stories, and just weird stuff in general that's literally unfiltered and unseasoned, but it's still gonna be extremely spicy when it comes to talking about things like that. So it's just a podcast about life in general, which I love talking about it, which I have a plan of having Alex as a guest for season 2.
Yeah.
Unseasoned 2.
Unseasoned 2.
On season 2, ladies and gentlemen, you got it right here. So yeah, it's Unseasoned on YouTube, and you guys can follow us on Twitter as well. Thank you so much, Alex, for giving me the chance to talk about this one.
You're very welcome. I'm a generous person.
Have you listened to at least one of the newer episodes? We have the first
I've listened to the first episode. That's about it so far. But
understandable.
I've been so busy with work. I apologize.
No worries, man. No worries. We have episodes about talking about alcohol stories, like our transition from high school to college and how different it is for us. Stuff like that, So we talk about it so people feel like they can actually feel like connected or relatable. Exactly. It's a relatable podcast.
Yes,
definitely. We're still young, like you guys think that we're still young.
Now, just for some quick operational news regarding the So We Gaming podcast, we're actually going to be moving our recording time to Monday evenings, which we'll plan for Tuesday morning releases. So for those who are following or have the little follow button clicked on Spotify or whatnot, just FYI, you should be seeing episodes coming from us on Tuesdays going forward.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have, unless you guys have anything else. Going once, going twice.
So, we gaming?
God damn it. You hit that so well. I love it. Everybody, thanks for listening to the podcast. Make sure you guys drop the follows on all the social media, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Press start.
Why are you talking about yourself? I do not listen to you. Also, you have to breathe. You guys having way too much fun with the music.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
He's playing it on the stream.
Yeah.
I have